What's up, guys? It's that Army Guy 4213 coming at you, or as some of you know me, Collins, whatever. Uh, so it's been a while since we made a video. We're going to touch up on a few things, the last part of AIT and the PCS to Fort Bliss. PCS stands for Permanent Change of Station. So this is my first duty station. This is the Big Army, as everybody likes to call it. So trying to remember exactly where I was in the last video I made. I know I just started spitballing about some things, but we're going to talk about some things that happen, what the ending of AIT is kind of like, and what it's like to get to your first duty station, which everybody's experiences are going to be different. This is just my experience. Not going to say this is hey, this is what's going to happen to you in the Army. Expect this. Have fun. So I don't even know where I ended, but anyway, so the orders came in, ended up getting Fort Campbell originally, which I was ecstatic about. I've got my stepsister and my brother-in-law are stationed there. Air assault, cool, home of the 101st. So I was pumped for that. It's only like a 9-hour drive from home or so. I was all pumped for that. I had things kind of set up for when I first got there and was going to be able to have some people to associate with in a positive way, some positive influences. And then about 2-3 weeks after that, a week before we graduated, I find out that I'm going to Fort Bliss here. There was a screw up with my orders, being that I was reclassed from EOD to 92 Alpha, which is an automated logistics specialist. And if I would have stuck EOD, if I wouldn't have failed, because I'm, dumb, I would have ended up going to Fort Campbell. But being that I didn't, they had to change it, and now I'm here in El Paso, home of the 1st Armored Division. So that was thing one. Thing two was, hey, I was in class, I think it was our last Friday. It was the day right after I found out I was going to Fort Bliss. Drill sergeant calls our instructor, and he goes, hey, can you POV out of here? Don't really know off the top of my head. Let me see what I can try and find out. So talked to a couple people, and we were going to have it set up that, because long story short, if I wouldn't have POV'd, I would have been stuck at Fort Lee until either today or tomorrow. So almost 2 weeks after I would have graduated, I've still been stuck at Fort Lee and hating my life. But if I POV'd, then I could leave right after graduation. So I made a couple phone calls, talked to a couple people. Dad's like, hey, I'll just come down and get you then. Yeah, cool. I'm like, all right, cool. And then had that situation figured out. Come to find out, if I POV'd, I had to report in 3 days, which was basically not possible because Dad was driving to get me, and then I had to be in Texas, which is 2,000 miles away from Ohio and a little longer from Virginia. So I ended up getting a little bit of a silver lining to that situation. There's always something good in the negative. Whether or not you want to believe it, there's always things you can positively look at. And that's another thing I want to touch on is positivity in negative situations. This will help a lot of you, whether it's military related, personal issues, family issues, work related issues. You got to hunt what in the Army they call hunting the good stuff. So positive things I can take out from all three of these situations. One, never been to Texas other than flying to, I think, San Antonio, but then staying in the airport for 30 minutes and flying to Arizona. So never been to Texas. Number two, it's warm year round. 100 degrees daily, but it's not even that bad. The worst part's getting in your car, until you can get the air conditioner rolling, but that takes 2 minutes because your engine's already warm. So that's another cool thing. I'm in the middle of someplace I've never been. I get to experience a whole new culture, a whole new environment. I've been kind of going off base every couple days or so, seeing just a lot of really cool stuff. There's some parts of El Paso, it's looks like, an old school town, and it's, kind of run down and everything, but it's a really cool thing to go see. And then you go to the other side of the base, off that part of the base, and it's a big business district. There's a Mercedes dealer, there's a freaking BMW dealership, whole bunch of car dealerships, whole nice, upper nice businesses, nice restaurants, bars. Went to a place called Clicks. It's a real nice pool hall. They've got like 20 pool tables, a couple card tables. Just it's a real cool place. So that was, part of, hey, you're going to Fort Bliss instead of Fort Campbell. So cool. I get to, see all this new stuff. Plus, I wake up, I get to see the mountains every day. There's an airport right across the road, so I can watch planes take off and land all day, which is kind of cool. Then I got an extension. I got 5 days that I could use to POV travel. So I was able to go home for 12 hours or so. Nothing great, but still, it was kind of nice. I was able to still go out and have some fun with some friends for a little bit. Get on the bike. That felt great too. And then took off Sunday afternoon, headed down, started heading south. Went through Kentucky, went through Memphis, never been to Tennessee, been into Kentucky, but barely over the border. So I got to see a whole part of Kentucky that was really nice. Got to go through Tennessee, go through Memphis and all that. Granted, it was late at night. Ended up stopping in Arkansas. So it was on the road for like 13 hours, including the time change. So I was an hour behind where I stopped, and I left at like 1 p.m, and I think I stopped around 2 o'clock, so maybe 14 hours, about 900 miles, put some decent miles in. Got to go through Arkansas. That was really cool, other than the fact that my headlight went out. So I had to stop and change that in the pouring down rain, which wasn't, oh well. And went through Oklahoma, got through Oklahoma City, stopped a couple Harley dealerships, collected some poker chips, got to see some really cool Harley dealers actually. Went through Moore, Oklahoma, which is Toby Keith's hometown, so I got to see the big sign for all that and everything. Then went through Amarillo right around the sunset. I'll tell you what, pretty nice sunset, pretty nice country out there. You got to go through some awesome mountains and some just nice terrain and everything, see some pretty cool stuff. Then ended up stopping in Tucumari, New Mexico, which is 30 miles or so across the border. Stayed there, and then got up the next morning, started heading south. Went through New Mexico and mountains like crazy. I was watching on my GPS, my elevation. I was at like 5,300 feet in the air. So that's pretty cool. And then hit another dealership down in Texas down here called Barnett's Harley, which is the world's largest Harley dealership. The place is freaking huge. And then reported in. So that's some of the positive stuff that came out of that situation. So we're going to backtrack a little bit to going back to AIT before I get too carried away. So the last week or so. So we'll start from that Friday, the final Friday. Had our last class day, and basically went over some stuff. For the next test, we tested the final test. Actually, I think it was that day. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. The test was Monday. So did the usual stuff, get up, PT, go eat, change, go to class. Had a half day that day. So we got to do, a little bit of cool stuff. That night before we were at the bowling alley. First time I bowled in forever, and I was bowling with house equipment, still shot a really nice game. Then we ended up going Friday, come back, do all our regular stuff, chill out for the weekend, get our gold pass, was able to go off post, went to the mall, saw some movie with people on Skype. Kind of weird. I don't even remember the name. It wasn't my particular taste of a movie. Had some food, chilled, and then went back. It was pouring down rain the whole weekend, but oh well. Then Sunday we ended up going back to the mall, had IHOP. First time I'd ever had IHOP. Go to the mall, watch another movie. Yay. Chilled again, then went back. Then relaxed the rest of the day. Monday we got up, went to class, took our test, had a half day. Passed the test. Fidgeting with the bottle cap. Passed the test and went back to the company, and I think we just chilled the rest of the day. Had nothing really to do. Tuesday we went back to class for another half day, and we basically just sat there. We sat with the warehouse NCO and our instructor, and we talked about what it's like going to the big army, what to expect, what to do, things you're going to experience, talking about certain parts, if that particular NCO had been to that area, that base, what it was like. So it was kind of a nice little Q&A session to have. It's always nice to have that with the senior enlisted and anybody that's been in, and has gone to duty stations. It's kind of nice to get their interpretation. So then we went and we started doing some paperwork, some processing stuff. We were doing our ASU inspections, making sure everything was okay. Wednesday, we went to brain fart. Went to the Soldier Support Center to do our out processing paperwork. And basically, when we weren't doing anything, our drill sergeant was like, hey, go clean, work on cleaning up your room, get all your stuff packed, make sure it's just you're ready to move out Thursday morning. So basically, I packed everything, already had everything packed that I didn't need. And then we just chilled, watched movies, took naps, whatever, went to dinner and did all that. So Thursday was graduation. Get up, everybody that was leaving that day, there was me and two other guys that were leaving the following morning. So we stayed in our rooms. We just left our stuff upstairs. We went and went downstairs, did accountability. Everybody took their stuff downstairs, lined it up, and did accountability, came up, changed. Drill sergeant went through and checked rooms, make sure everything is good, and then locked them up. That way nobody could just go in there and start trashing stuff or just do whatever, Went to chow, came back, changed into ASUs, went downstairs and got our promotions, got promoted again. So 6 months, we made 2 promotions. We went from PVT, just regular E1 private, to PFC, which is an E3 now. So moving up in the world, which is pretty cool. Got 2 promotions with waivers, and they just happened to fall right at the perfect time. So, big accomplishment for me to already be promoting like this. Next promotion, if I get a waiver, could be 8 months from July 27th. So that's March 27th, April, somewhere in there. If not, it'll be a year to date to specialist, or unless I'm some super soldier, I can get promoted to corporal. Doubt it, but never know. Never know what the future holds. Got to take it one day at a time. Then we marched, went over to the theater, did a couple graduation practices again, waited, time came, family started coming in, did the graduation ceremony. It is online. It's on Facebook, the 244th Quartermaster Battalion. So if y'all want to see that, you're more than welcome to go. Sorry, I'm still dropping bottle cap. More than welcome to go watch it and check it out. So after that's done, talk with drill sergeants, talk with the company commander, talk with our company first sergeant, took pictures, everything like that, and then march back. Time to go. So everybody went and changed real quick, went and either GOV'd out of here, which is government operated vehicle. So they took a taxi to the airport and flew, or they got on a bus, depending on where they were going. Most people, I think almost everybody flew. A few people that were staying, myself and others, we were able to go on a gold pass again. And then a few people went home with their parents if their family came down. So we went on gold pass, went and got something to eat, walked around, killed some time. We had like 7 or 8 hours that we could be out, nothing really needing to go do. So we went and ate, came back, chilled until final formation and accountability. Had a commander's brief. He was talking about an incident that happened between a few trainees that we're not going to go into, just in case I could get myself in trouble for it. So if you have questions, get with me at a later time. But needless to say, it was something so bad that they are all stuck there for a while with some pretty big consequences and maybe even getting kicked out of the military. Which always leads back to what our first sergeant said: don't do dumb shit. Day before you graduate, you think you really don't want to do any dumb shit. But people get that, hey, I made it, I'm getting out of here mentality. No, you're still under the Army. You're still in training until you sign out. You're still in training. You got to abide by those rules. So get done with that, go upstairs, talk to Dad. He's on the road. Hey, I'll be here around this time. Cool. Absolutely. No problem. I'm sorry, that was Friday. Yeah, we graduated on a Friday. I don't know why I was thinking it was a Thursday. Um, and then went to sleep, had everything packed up, get up at 3:30, something like that, to take all my stuff downstairs and go sign out and then wait. Dad goes, hey, go to sleep for a few more hours. I'm not going to be there until like 6:30. Oh, okay, I'm already signed out, chilling outside. So I sat outside and enjoyed some free time. I had a little gazebo right across the way from the company, put my bags there and just sat there and watched Netflix or YouTube, something, just killing some time. Dad shows up, load the bags, and we take off about 6:30 in the morning on the nose. We take off and start heading back to Ohio. Um, Drive, stopped at, a few places to get fuel and whatnot. Saw some really cool places there too. It's always cool when you get to travel, whether or not you've been to somewhere before, because you may have missed something that you drove by the first time or two or however many. So that was pretty cool. Got home, did a couple things, went out, saw the barn that Dad's still working on, the new addition, freaking awesome. It's really, I'm very, very impressed with, I mean, I shouldn't even be impressed, but because it's insane the stuff that he can come up with, him and everybody that works with him on that. It's just insane to think that I had no idea of what it was to do all that. And he, I remember him standing there and he goes, yeah, we're going to do this here and this here. And he's, marking stuff up. And I'm just like, yeah. He goes, you following? Not really. But when we get to it, I will. And then, starting to see what he and I and others had done, was actually starting to see how it was going. And then to see what it's like since I was last home 2 months ago, a lot had been done. We put a bathroom in, just a whole bunch of cool shit. I'm really happy that he's been able to continuously work on it, and make it awesome. Went and hopped on the bike, took off for a little while, went and rode, met some friends, went out and, had some fun. Just enjoyed the time, got home and finished getting everything ready to be packed. Woke up, put everything in the car, said bye to Dad, went and had breakfast with Mom and grandmother and stepdad, and then went and did a couple other things, and on the road we went. So we got in here around 5:30 Tuesday night. Made really good time. I was doing about 900 miles a day. No, I lied. About 800 miles a day. Got in, went to the welcome center, got the hiccups, did the paperwork I had to do. Gave me a little packet. Here's the places you can't go. Here's the rules you got to abide by if you have this, 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 and this. These are what you're going to be doing on these days. So here's your schedule. Take the bus. We didn't take the bus. We drove. And then just be where I got to be at the times I got to be. And it's simple. That's how you do it. So first day, I had to go to brigade and do what they call S1. But unfortunately, everybody there was in the field, so I was not able to do that. They told me to come back later time that day. Nobody was still there. They said, come back tomorrow. Okay, no big deal. Went Thursday, did the CG brief, which is a bunch of stuff with, just all the, upper people on base, which I was actually able to get out because I donated blood. So they stamped off, said, hey, you're good to go. Cool. And then went back to S1 to try and do that. And they said, hey, everybody's still out in the field. Come back Monday. Okay, no big deal. So that was that for Thursday. Ended up bringing some more stuff into the room. I'm in a temp room right now, I think. Actually, I know. So I've been trying to kind of sort of take only what I need out. But I brought like my PlayStation and my TV in, so I have something to do. Then Friday was MRT, which is Master Resilience Training, which is basically how to be positive in the military and not think of bad things. That was about 2.5 hours. We were released for the rest of the day. Went and had lunch, went and met up with my buddy. He bought a new car, so we wanted to show that. And then we went out, had some fun out at a club called something. I don't even remember. Not my scene, not my style, so I left. I came back and, watched TV. Woke up Saturday, basically sat in here for a while. Just didn't feel like going out and doing anything. I kind of get in those ruts. Um, and then just enjoy the weekend, really. And then come yesterday, we went to the second part of MRT, finished that up around noon, went and had lunch, went to battalion to go to S1. I got a little progression in it. I found out I was going from the 501st to the 16th Engineering Battalion. But by the time all that had happened, it was too late in the day to continue any further. So I was told to come back today. But I went to my finance brief, was able to waive that because I'd already done it in AIT. And I was kind of looking through my paper and I go, Sergeant, was I supposed to go to this day? And they go, oh, you didn't do that? I was like, no, they never told me what day to go. He goes, oh, you're supposed to do that Friday. Oh, okay. He goes, so go ahead and get your stamp, run across the street and go do it real quick. Okay, no big deal. So we went today. We got, housing. We did a housing thing. We did just some other stuff, you need to know for the post dental clinic and all that stuff. And then we did finance. So we took like a extended lunch because we kind of rolled through everything. And we did finance with getting your reimbursement for travel. So basically what they consider is if you took leave, which I did, your distance traveled, if you drove, you can get reimbursed. So if you had to pay for a plane ticket out of pocket, they'll cover up to what it would cost them to do things. They cover if you POV'd like I did, you get money per day for food and lodging. You get mileage. So, and they took in a factor my mileage from Virginia to Ohio and Ohio to here. So I'm going to get a pretty decent penny, I think. Excuse me. I want to say, not that, but around $500, I think, for mileage. And then you get like $144 a day, if that sounds right. I think $140, $144 a day for food and lodging. I did not use that much money, but that's what their standard rate is. So whether you did or didn't, that's what you get. So for 5 days. So I get 5 days of that. So that's, I think it was another $750 or something like that. So I'm going to get almost $1,200 in reimbursement, which is really nice. So there's always positive to everything. So we're going to wrap this up here in a minute, but I'm going to put a challenge out to everybody. I want you to write down a couple things that you deal with on a daily basis that you think are a negative thing, and find the positive in it, because there's always positivity to everything. You could be stuck in traffic and turn on the radio and hear some important information that you didn't know, or it'll give you an opportunity. Hey, you know what? I ain't moving anywhere anytime soon. I'm going to call somebody I haven't talked to in a while. I'm going to call my mother, my father, aunt, uncle, cousin, whoever, long-term friend. You can always find positivity in anything. You can be at work and be swamped in paperwork, and be like, man, I'm going to be here forever. And if you're not a salary person, that's overtime. That's more money in your pocket. There's a positive thing. Job insurance too. Hey, I got more paperwork to do. If I don't get it all done today, I come back tomorrow. That's more things for me to do. Job insurance. Everybody's always got something positive that you just got to put your mind to it. Don't focus on, it's so easy to find the negative in everything. It's like I can find negative things about being here. Man, it's hot as shit. I'm 2,000 miles away from home. I'm supposed to be deploying in February. Oh well.